Hello everyone, Rurikhan here coming at you with another first impressions video, and today we're going to be taking a look at Super Mario Bros. U for the Wii U. This title got sent to me by Nintendo Portugal so that I could give it a look and tell you guys my opinions on it. So what is Super Mario Bros. U all about? It is obviously a platformer game. I mean, I think most of the Mario games are platformers apart from the likes of Mario Kart, maybe Mario Party. I mean, there's a ton of variety within the Mario franchise, I guess. But obviously, Super Mario Bros. Has always been a platformer. Now, I'm doing this particular video in post-commentary because I was having trouble actually doing proper commentary whilst playing the game. Because even though Super Mario Bros. U, I mean, I'm just going to call it Super Mario from now on. Or Super U, or whatever, Super Mario. Even though this particular title seems very simple, and it is, in its nature, it is very simple. I mean, you've got like 3 buttons total that you will be pressing, and I say 3 buttons because every now and then you will have to press the shoulder buttons to perform certain actions within the game. But it's only got 3 button presses, but the mechanics that are inherent to playing a Mario game are incredibly, are actually deceivingly complex, because it seems very simple, but it is actually quite complex when you put all those things together to navigate levels and achieve certain objectives within levels. Like, for instance, you use one of the buttons. Let me actually look at at the controller here. For instance, the only 2 buttons that you're going to be using is either the Y and B or the X and A from the Wii U Pro controller. And why do I say this? Because, well, essentially Y is for running as well as using your special power. Like, for instance, if you have the frozen flower or the fire flower, using Y will get you to shoot fireballs or frozen balls, whatever, whilst using B will always get you to jump. But you see, the combination of that alone, like having to use Y to run and having to time your jumps properly, that in and of itself is almost like a science. And then again, it could be due to the fact that I don't play that many Mario games, and maybe that contributes to the fact that I find it somewhat, I don't want to say hard, but it's like it is really difficult to master. I mean, you guys will know if you happen to have played this title. Most likely you guys will know, because people think a Mario game, oh yeah, whatever, it's just a simple game, all you got to do is jump. And I'm saying this from my perspective because that's pretty much the way I think. It's like, all you got to do is jump. How hard can it be, right? Well, let me tell you, it can be pretty damn hard. Anyways, yeah, the game is challenging in some levels, but then again, once you get the mechanics of some levels, it should become fairly easy, and lives are fairly easy to come by in this title, because, like, sure, you might lose a couple of lives maybe on boss levels and stuff like that, so that until you nail down the strategy of a particular boss or something like that, but the levels in between make it really easy for you to gain levels, because, like, every 100 coins you gain a level, a life. Every 100 coins you gain a life. There's also plenty of lives hidden throughout the levels if you're willing to go the extra mile and actually do some exploration as opposed to speedrunning. But if you like speedrunning, that's fine. The game has an entire mode. Actually, I think it's got multiple modes dedicated to speedrunning the different levels and all that. And also the levels have this structure to them that allow you to both either do as much exploration as you want, although you're always on a time limit, which you guys can see on the upper right corner. But the levels do have a certain structure within them that give you a certain amount of leeway that allows you to really explore a level, really flesh it out, do all of the exploration that you want, and then also allow you to complete that level in a speedrun mode if that is what you're into. The amount of exploration that you do is actually left up to the player, which I find is actually pretty fun, because myself, a lot of levels I end up going all the way almost to running out of time, because I'm just like completely lost in level, like figuring stuff out, trying to figure secret passages and ways to pick up all of the gold medals, or star coins they're called. I'm not 100% sure. As you guys know, I haven't played a lot of Nintendo titles, so cut me a little bit of slack here. Now, one of this game's strong points is supposed to be the multiplayer. Unfortunately, I didn't really get a chance to play it, but I've seen some footage of the multiplayer of Super Mario Bros. Wii U, and it looks like really It just looks like a lot of fun because you can either help each other out or you can royally screw each other over, and that I feel is what really makes it fun, because you can just screw your friends over, toss someone in the lava, have a laugh, and all that stuff. That just sounds like it would be cool. Now the problem with it is, and this is a problem that I find is it's just a big oversight, really, at least in my opinion, which is you can't actually use the gamepad and the Pro Controller to play multiplayer, which I was just like, nah, that can't be it. I gotta be doing something wrong. Then I looked up online, no, you actually cannot use, like, let's say, the gamepad for player 1 and the Pro Controller for player 2. You either use the gamepad or the Pro Controller. You cannot use both simultaneously. I do not know the reason for this, and I'm not even sure Nintendo knows the reason for this, because if you go to another title, which is Super Mario 3D World, that particular title actually allows you to play with player 1 being on the gamepad and player 2 being on the Pro Controller. So I don't understand what is it with the oversight. So if you want to play multiplayer in Super Mario Bros. U, you're going to have to get yourself a Wiimote or multiple Wiimotes, depending on how many people you actually have playing the game. Now, I myself no longer have any Wiimotes. I used to have a Wii a long time ago, not so much now, so I was not able to play multiplayer at all. But like I said, definitely seems like it's a lot of fun, but I can't really say any more than that. Apart from my issues with multiplayer, let's talk a little bit about the graphics. The game looks beautiful in the usual Mario art style that Nintendo has gotten us accustomed to. The game runs at 1080p. I'm not sure if it's native 1080p, because some of the at least I get this idea that some of the stuff is stretched, so it might not be actually 1080p, but it runs fine. It runs at a solid frame rate. You can also run it off of the Wii U gamepad. That works fine as well. The animations are amazing. You guys know that I love animations more than graphics. So with the 1080p that they're putting out, even if it's not full 1080p, it looks perfect. I'm not sure if it's at 60 frames. I couldn't really tell, to be completely honest. I haven't been paying that much attention to the frame rate because you're usually so focused on everything else that's going on. I mean, all I can say is the frame rate is solid, and I've never been hampered by the frame rate in Super Mario Bros. U. So, I mean, that's really all I can say about that. Playing on the gamepad works fine too. I'm not exactly sure if the multiplayer will allow you to do anything special with the gamepad or not. I've seen a mode which was there's these challenge modes that you can access apart from the story mode in and of itself. There's a couple of challenge modes that you can access. As a matter of fact, you can even play with your Miis in those challenge modes. But there was one challenge mode that allowed you to use the gamepad to place blocks down to achieve certain objectives. Although I didn't fool around too much with that particular game mode. So yeah, there's challenges. There's also mini games within the story mode where you can gain extra lives and stuff like that, as well as items. There's an item system in well, I say item system. It's more a power-up system in Super Mario Bros. Wii U, which allows you to pre-use a couple of items before entering a level. And this system essentially consists of you gaining these items either by finishing levels or by going to a Toad House, which will appear in certain locations in the game's map. And going to that Toad House will give you those items, and you're able to preload these items before going into a level. So if you're having a particularly hard time at a level, you can start already with a mushroom, or you can start with a fire flower, or this like flying squirrel type thing, which I don't even know what kind of an animal that is. But yeah, there's that system in place as well if you're having trouble with certain levels. The game is heavily integrated into the Miiverse, so a lot of times the game will ask you, hey, you want to do a comment on that particular level? or if you die often, you will receive the comments of other people, which most of the times it's just stuff like people saying they hate the boss of that level, or saying that the game is that particular level is really hard, which I thought it was funny. It's interesting the way that they integrate that. Also, on the subject of difficulty, they have a system in place that they allow you to actually summon Luigi to give you a sample run of a particular level that you might be dying too often in. I'm not exactly sure how many times it takes you to dying for them to give you that option, but I do know that option is there, even though I haven't really used it. And there's just a lot of levels in story mode, and I do mean a lot of levels. I've seen at least forest, desert, water levels, lava levels, castle levels. There's just so many levels in the game that I think this is going to keep people busy for quite some time, in case you guys are wondering in terms of value for hours that you're going to be playing. And on top of all the story levels, there's also these challenge levels that I told you guys about, speedrun levels. There's levels where you have to do weird stuff, like I had this level where you had to take a mole through a river and then drive it into a goal or something. I never really completed that particular level. There's another level where you had to dodge fireballs. And you just had to stand in one place, and all you could really do is jump and dodge fireballs. There's another mode, which is the boost mode, in which the level keeps moving forward, and you have to move faster or risk being left behind and dying. And in that particular mode, whenever you pick up coins, the level starts moving even faster. It's kind of cool. So there's a ton of content in Super Mario Bros. Wii U, but again, I get a feeling that this is going to be a lot more fun to play with friends. Just bear in mind that you're going to need Wiimotes in order to play with friends. It is not going to work with just the gamepad and pro controllers, so bear that in mind if you're planning on playing it with friends and all you got is gamepad and pro controllers. But apart from that, I mean, it's a solid title. Looks pretty good. Animation's great. The sound obviously is going to take you back to, I mean, at least it took me back because I hadn't played the Super Mario games in a long time. They've got like the classical sounds, obviously, with higher definition, stuff like that. But yeah, pretty fun all around. The boss fights were also pretty cool. So yeah, if you guys liked the gameplay footage that you've watched so far, then you can't really go wrong. You guys, most people should really know what Super Mario Bros. U is all about, I'm going to assume. But for those of you that didn't know, I hope you guys got a good idea of what it's all about. Anyways, as per usual, leave me your comments, feedback, all that kinds of good stuff in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.